Hello and welcome to the coverage of the 2020 Zambia Open. I'm Zachary Smith.
And I'm Hannah Leatherman.
And we're here to share all of round one with you and a little bit of bonus coverage.
We're hoping today to give you guys a glimpse of what disc golf in Zambia is like. We want to give a huge shout out to Innova Disc Golf. They were amazing supporters of this project from day one. They've done a ton and they've generously supported all of Zambia Disc Golf, and we're really grateful for their support.
We also want to thank the PDGA, Zing Minis, and El Guapo Basket. Today we are going to get to watch some amazing players. Wilborn, who is a staff member for Eagles Wings Disc Golf in Zambia. Mutolo, who is a 13-year-old. Hannah Leatherman, who I'm sure most of you know, and then myself, Zachary Smith. We're starting here on hole 1, 66 meters, 217 feet. Really fun starting hole.
Yeah, there's a few different ways to get to the basket here. There's the big hyzer shot, or a couple people will take the big spike hyzer flick shot over the trees.
Yeah, so I start off there with the backhand, and we catch the end of Wilborn's shot. He goes hyzer. We see Hannah going for the big hyzer. Finishing a little left, I think, off your screen.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the right angle on that one.
And then Mutolo just stepping up and throwing a flick. You see it drop down right there, about 10 feet from the basket. Wilborn kind of rushed his up shot there. Just lining up a tough putt there.
Yeah.
And Wilborn, after just hitting that tree, just steps up and sinks it. He putts with a DX Stingray.
All right, cleaning up some putts here. This is one of the new baskets that we just put in this year. So we replaced the old basket with the bucket on the bottom and put in this nice new El Guapo basket.
Yes, so we had two twos there from Zach and Mutolo. Hole 2, we've got 95 meters or 312 feet.
Yeah, this hole, there's a few different options. You know, some people will take the low straight shot. Some people will go big, high, hyzer shot, and then others will take a flick shot over the trees.
Yeah, so I threw a little mid-range there. We see Mutolo going for the flex flick. You guys will see a lot of flicks from the Zambians.
Yeah, mostly flicks from the Zambians. Occasionally Wilborn will bust out a backhand here and there, but his flick shot is just outstanding. Both of these guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to see that shot from Wilborn reach the basket, but he does it almost regularly. Our conditions today were a little bit rainy, as you'll get to see later in the round, and Wilborn usually just parks the hole every time, throwing that flick around the edge.
Yep, it's rainy season in Zambia right now, so you never know what the weather's going to do. In fact, the week we had was amazing. The timing of the rain was really good, but up until this day, it started getting a little dicey.
Yeah, so Mutolo's just kind of getting his 3 there. You can see with his putt, he's really trying to land it in the baskets, which is a very different style than most people are playing here in the States because we want to hit the chains. But as you can see here, they had to learn how to get the basket to catch it, and that's that high shot. So just one birdie here for myself, and stepping up to the next hole. Pretty easy flick shot for most people.
Yep. So this is the short tee. The pros will play the long tee second round, but this shows the short tee here. The long tee is brand new. We just added it this year, actually.
Yeah, we want to force a little bit longer flicks for a lot of these guys because they've gotten so good at it. But you can always go backhand like Hannah is showing you here.
Yep, it works some of the time. Not so well that time, but it can work.
Unfortunately, we missed Mutolo's tee shot, but you'll get to see where he's putting from, and we'll just say it was a pretty darn good flick shot.
Yeah, these baskets are interesting to putt on. As you can see, like they're single chain, and you got to be a little careful. You can see Mutolo there fixing the chains before he putts to make sure that he has chains to putt at, which is a unique challenge on these baskets.
And there you go. That's Mutolo tapping in for a birdie there.
Missed the drive there.
Threw a great tee shot. And Hannah, that was a good putt cleaning up for par. So moving to the shortest hole on the course, it is definitely not the easiest. A little tight, but it can definitely get you.
Yeah, this hole was really fun to make. It was just the perfect. We made this hole last year, so it's a year old, and it was just the perfect, slightly downhill tunnel shot opportunity. Although a lot of the Zambians will take that high flick line and try to kind of hit the trees and drop down next to the basket.
Yeah, they really take the Simon Lizotte lines if they can with their flicks. It's been quite impressive to see where we design a hole and we say there's no flick line, and they make one.
The other challenge is the trees. A lot of the trees are pretty short here in this area, around this village. So,
nice try.
Yeah. So anyway, taking away the over-the-top type of shot is a challenge when designing this type of course.
Now it's Mutolo knocking down a 2, and Wilborn with the step putt. So both Zambians with the flick route over the top take 2s. Hannah cleans up for a par, and with the new basket, didn't quite get it over the rim.
All those chains, Zach.
Didn't even hit them. So 1 bogey and a couple birdies, and so hole 5 is a really interesting green. You'll get to see it's right behind a termite mound. So this was over the top shot from Wilborn, throwing a tomahawk, getting up there with the putt.
Yeah, this green is tricky. I mean, I saw a ton of rollaways while we were there down that hill, and so it definitely adds some challenge to the putting green here.
And then I threw a little bit fast, and I'm glad those trees caught me. We missed Mutolo's tee shot again on this one, but it ended in that stuff over there on the right, and he's really struggling to get out of there. So that upshot was for 3, and he'll be able to try to tap in for 4.
So I think here I might be trying to adjust the chains to make sure I have something to hit with my putt. That single chain is tricky. So, and you know, our team struggled a little more with putting than the Zambians just because we putt a little extra too hard, and then it can bounce right off the pole. They've learned to drop it into that bucket.
Yes, it is definitely learning how to putt a little softer and like I said, a little more hyzer. And with that one, I didn't even realize Wilborn had missed. I actually told him nice putt, and it was just hidden behind the termite mound. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, that might have been my putt.
Yeah, a little spit through the back.
Interesting.
So 2 4s there, but hole 6 is a Zambian dream hole with mostly flick lines for a lot of them. But you can actually take this hyzer line. I'm throwing a zone here, just over the top and letting it hit this tree and drop down.
Yeah, this is a hole throughout the week while we were there. I saw so many nice flick shots on this hole where people were just parking it repeatedly with that low flick line.
It looks like Wilborn went a little wide there and went high. Didn't catch the end of it. And then Mutolo is actually teeing off right now, and he is going to end fairly close to the camera, but a little bit behind. But it's really cool to see their spotters out there. We had a ton of volunteers come out for the tournament and just spot.
Yeah.
Gonka.
Yeah. Yeah, so Zach is introducing some Zambian disc golf terminology. Gonka means you hit a tree.
It actually means to cut it down, and they'll say, don't use your disc to cut down the tree, and they'll just yell Gonka at you. So it's a lot of fun to get them hear their language and mess around with you.
Woo! That's a bird.
That's a nice putt.
Mutolo is actually putting there with an MD4 or an MD3, I'm not sure exactly, and throwing that hyzer putt. And Hannah, you went a little deep on that, having to pitch out.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of them do putt with mid-ranges, and I don't know if that's just because the baskets catch them better. Now that they have those new, nice Guapo baskets, that should help them learn to use actual putters.
Yes, for sure. So this is the only par 4 on the course, and it is a true, really nice par 4. You get to throw a nice tee shot up the middle, and you can see it fades around to the right there. You get to see it in a second. But you can also just throw a flex forehand as well and still land right in the middle of the fairway as they've learned to do.
Great shot.
Yeah, this hole was an interesting one to build because we just were like, we need a par 4 on this course. So we just started cutting down jungle basically, and then we got to a point where we're like, all right, let's turn left and go towards that big tree out there, and then we just headed that way. And so it just kind of was like a unique building of a hole. It's just thick jungle, and it turned out pretty well.
And Hannah, you threw a nice shot right up the middle, keeping it nice and straight. And as you can see, Wilborn Really struggled to throw a good tee shot and got himself in some trouble. And that was actually his fourth shot. So we actually missed a few upshots here. We missed Hannah and Mutolo's upshots as well. So this is Hannah putting for 3. A little tough on that right side of the green. So that's Wilborn tapping in for his 5. And
having trouble with these new baskets. We'll have to tell Aguapa. No, just kidding. Just kidding, Chris. We love them.
And then this is Mutolo. He's putting for a birdie as well right here. Just off the front of that cage. So Hannah taps in. I think that was a 5. And that was my 3 putt.
Nice 3, Zach.
And so we go from the only par 4 on the course to hole 8, which is the longest par 3 on the course, right up along these electrical wires, sponsored by Texas Roadhouse, as you can see there.
This is the short tee for this hole. We did actually build a long tee while we were there this time, which is just a bit longer and a really fun shot.
And this is one where you get to see the big flex flicks, and Mutolo threw it a little low there. But we've got Wilborn even throwing a backhand now because he's figured out that he can typically get more distance, but it looks like he turned that over a little bit to the right on that one.
And I'm throwing my shrike here, just trying not to land in that thick brush because once you're in there, it's really hard to get out.
Yes, really easy to bogey. What's really cool, you can see Hannah down in that gully later this afternoon. That is a rushing river with about 4 feet of water. Just would carry away anything. So.
Yeah, I was knee deep in that water trying to kick discs up from the bottom in order to find them later that day.
Yeah, you'll get to hear a little bit more about the second round, but it was an amazing rain that we had.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
Major flooding. So that was an interesting challenge. You can see we have spectators there out by that Jeep.
Yeah, spectators and a lot of caddies, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hole 9 is a right turning hole. We can go backhand putter like I'm doing, or you can go the flick. And then we've also seen some backhands over the right side, but not typically the preferred route.
That's a really good shot, Zach.
Yeah, this was another one that was designed for the flick or the right turning shot, and I saw some really pure shots, including that one.
Yeah, what's really cool about Mutolo, he is 13 years old, and he actually didn't play disc golf for like 2 to 3 months before this tournament. He's going to a secondary school a little bit away from the disc golf course, so he showed up on Friday for our junior tournament, which was a qualifier for the Zambia Open, and ended up just qualifying, and then came out here, and as you can see how well he's playing.
Yeah, he's definitely kind of a hometown hero with disc golf, and we saw that in their celebration at the end. Everyone kind of looks up to him when it comes to disc golf in that town.
There's Wilborn just stepping up, tossing his DX Stingray in there like it's nothing, not thinking about the chains or anything. Mutolo is thinking a little bit more about the chains, trying to give himself a little bit. But no problem at all. He's close enough that it doesn't matter too much. Looks like, Hannah, you got the CTP on this one.
Yeah, maybe I did. That would be nice. Yeah, like that.
Yay, star frame.
Yeah, so our first star frame throughout the round, but a good one to get.
Yes.
So hole 10, this is 213 feet. You can throw a little flex at it or just a nice little soft hyzer. And then we've actually extended this one as well, which turned into a really nice hole.
Yeah, the long tee is exactly the same shot, but straight back. So it's a very nice tunnel shot, and it really takes away any of the high shots, so it really forces you to go low.
Yeah, so Mutolo won't be able to throw that from the back tee, and neither will Wilborn with his shot that you'll see here.
Yeah, I saw some close calls with aces on this hole during the week. Really close to acing, including that. I mean, he almost aced right there even. But yeah, this is a fun hole.
I'm just missing the line by just a foot or so. Looks like we missed your up shot, but this is where Mutolo finished and dropping in for his birdie there. Cleaning up your 3, and then Wilborn and myself will clean up for these 2s.
Yeah, it was great having a caddy there all day. I really appreciated it, and that you can see that we all have caddies there, so they did a great job carrying our bags around.
Yes, for sure. And it wasn't just us, too. They want to help any adult out, so Wilborn had a caddy. It was really neat.
Yeah.
Hole 11 was one that we did a lot of work of trimming stuff and getting ready for this week. It's definitely been probably the most growth out of all of these holes, and it's the final of the new holes from last year, right?
That's right, yep. The last new hole from last year when we put in that second 9 holes. So we'll be heading back out to the original 9 after this hole, which is now hole 12.
It's fun to see Mutolo's reactions there, little fist pumps and smiles every once in a while.
Wow.
And
Once
Wilborn,
again.
just over the top.
He almost drops it in again.
And this was a great shot, just a little
Good
bit
shot,
right turning, but just held straight all the way there. Just caught that tree, had the right line. So he's got a good reaction on that one.
Yep.
There you go, Hannah.
Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to getting all 18 baskets out there, all the new ones, so it'll be a little more consistent for these guys. They're so used to these old ones, but having the new ones, it'll be nice to get the full 18 out there.
Yeah, and it looks like we missed my upshot and putt, but I did just kind of take a 3 there. Pretty easy, little 3. This is a shorter little hole, but a really fun one. And we got to add a long tee to this one as well. And I saw Hannah throwing this with DX Rock.
Yeah.
DX Rock just all week, just parking it every time.
And of course, Zach has to go way over the top of the spike hyzer.
Yeah, and then the other route is just the forehand. So you get to see all 3 different types coming on this one.
He always likes to do the look away when it's good.
And this was one where he thought was going to be underneath the basket, but ended up hitting an early tree.
That's a nice shot.
Gosh.
Yeah, Wilborn has a very good confidence to him. When he knows he threw a shot, he can kind of just turn around and look at you. It was really funny to see. Just off the basket, or the pot there. Looks like Hannah tapped in for a 2, so she's going to have the box on this one. This is right in front of a termite mound. Really fun, right or left, you get to choose your gap off the tee. Looks like Hannah's starting off with the right gap, throwing the nice little hyzer.
Yeah, I think that one may have caught a tree.
And I follow you, and I think I as well catch a tree. Yep, there it was.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these are hard to catch the full hole, so we try to give you the best commentary for that at least. Or you can just go up and over everything.
Pretty nice shot there, Wilborn.
And Mutolo as well is just slinging it up there. And it looks like it's there as well. So this is one of those where you got to make the decision to run it or not, and throw a little ante and hope that you can keep it close if you miss, and it fortunately went in for me.
This is one of the baskets on the course that you're just not sure if it's going to catch your putt. I mean, it's a little tricky. I don't know what it is, if some of the chains are tighter than others, but I saw a lot of bounce outs from this basket this week.
I think you knew that one was coming, huh?
Hey, like that, for example. Just like that. I think that side is especially bad.
Yeah, so these kids and Zambians will be loving the new baskets. And what's really cool is that they're making them all their own. We were able to give them the guidance on how to make them, and they'll be making the El Guapo style and have all 18 finished here soon. I know we missed a tee shot, I think, of myself on this, and this is Wilborn throwing up right now.
Whoa.
And then this is Mutolo teeing off. Both of them went big flicks off of the tee. Surprise, surprise.
Uh-huh.
And then Hannah will be finishing right now.
The fun thing about these old baskets is you can actually see the dents in them from people hitting the pot, as they call it. They're all dented up. Some of them broken.
So Hannah, you threw a little bit short there, but you still get a chance to give it a run. Oh, just barely. And Wilborn cashes it in from about 40 feet.
Yeah. Ooh, Zach, what happened?
Yeah, the last hole, I'll take it, and that one didn't really like it.
Oh.
Mutolo got denied right there.
Yep. Yeah, some of these basket placements are pretty well guarded by trees, so you have to get creative with some straddle putts and leaning around these curving trees. It's kind of it makes for an interesting putting green for sure.
Yeah, not all the holes are really long, but the putting greens are definitely the biggest challenge. Hole 15, you'll see some really cool lines off this. Pretty much a shorter hole, one of the ones that we'd like to change, but due to just restrictions of the course, it's going to stay there. So that was Wilborn throwing way wide, where I take a flick, but I actually go up the middle. You have to really see the line that these guys throw for the flick line here. It's amazing.
Yeah, you can see right behind the tee back there, there's a field of maize, and that's pretty much the staple food there is eating maize in all different forms. It's basically a form of corn. So we ate a lot of maize while we were there, which is delicious.
And this is, once again, another guarded basket. We've got some trees real nice and close to try to add that extra challenge. But most of the locals, they are able to avoid them pretty well. It was amazing to see some of Wilborn's putts throughout the week. Just getting around these trees like it's nothing.
Good job, Coach.
Moving into hole 16, we're throwing towards that field of maize. It's about 220 feet. I go with a backhand putter that didn't quite turn over. And then you'll see a couple different lines as well here. Imagine that. You got the high forehand shot that hits the tree.
So we talked a little bit about Zambian disc golf terminology, and one thing they do call their drivers a knife, which is kind of an interesting. They'll talk about their knife or their knives, and it's really their discs.
Yeah. Oh, nice shot, Hannah. Going the flex over the right side there. That was good.
Wow, from downtown, Zach.
Yeah, that was one that I wasn't sure was going to stick or not, but gave it a run. We got Wilborn kind of just tossing up there to save his three, and Mutolo almost cashing it in, but that's where you see all those dents come from. And a lot of near aces as well.
I'm a little nervous about this putt because I've seen a lot bounce off the pole today.
Well, it cashed in nice and easy. Got that birdie.
Good job, Coach.
All right, so a couple birdies there. Moving to hole 17. This was another new basket. This was one where the pot, as they call it, was broken. So we made sure to give this one a new basket early on.
Yeah, I love this hole. It's a really pure backhand shot, but also a really fun flick shot. So it gives basically two lanes you can take, which is a lot of fun.
He caught that early tree. This is one of those holes, too, that Wilborn usually has dialed in. And he was just a little bit off during this round. All week playing with him, I was just so amazed at how well his forehand was and how controlled he was. But today he was just a little bit off, missing his line by a few feet here and there.
Almost.
off the basket gets a roll away. You don't get too many of those off the pots, so they'll start to figure out that disc can roll away like that now.
You can see some of the extra spectators on this hole, people kind of gathering around. This is one of the holes that's kind of close to the beginning of the course, so it's people congregate there. There's also a lot of walking paths through this course, which is kind of cool. So you can see people from all throughout the village walking to school, walking to work. Occasionally you'll have a shepherd or farmer with their cows coming through. So there's a lot of action out in this area.
Yeah, so we didn't see Wilborn's upshot, but he cashed it in from a good distance away for a par, and I tapped in for a birdie. So we're playing to the short basket here on 18. We added a new El Guapo basket as a long position, but for round one, we're all playing to the short. And the preferred route is certainly a hyzer over the top, but we do see a lot of flex flicks as well.
Yeah, another Zambian disc golf term that they came up with was the term kill the four, and I think here I'm trying to kill a bunch of fours with this shot. By getting a 2. That's what it means.
Yeah, so after you get a 4, that's what it was, then you got to get a 2 afterwards to kill it.
To make up for it at some point. This is a little ways after for me, but I do need an extra 2.
And Mutolo went with that flex flick line, but hit early and threw an upshot and tapped in for his par.
It's not shown here, but there is a brand new basket for this hole, a little deeper, so it makes it a longer hole.
Oh, tough way to end the round there for Wilborn.
Looking at the basket here, it's down to the right, back to the right.
And Hannah's a little bit scared there from the
army
ants
ants were getting to me. There's a big line of these army ants, and I thought they were making noises and buzzing, and I was like not interested.
So as we see everybody tap out on 18, it was an amazing round here in Zambia. We had a couple good scores there, 7 down from Mutolo, 6 down from Wilborn. Hannah was able to get back under par. We want to show you a little bit from round 2. We originally wanted to record it, but as you can see, this is what a tee pad looked like during round 2. So video recording was not really something we were able to do.
So we're going to show you guys a couple holes from the lead card, but we are going to show you first. Meanwhile, on one of the girls' cards with the rain, you're going to get a feel for how wet we were getting and how much trouble we had. In fact, I was having to do standstill flick shots at one point. Everything was soaked, as you can see, but the girls had a good time.
A big flex flick from you. Yeah, it was really cool. We had, I think, 3 or even 4 cards of women. We had 73 players and had a really good turnout from the girls there. And they, as you can see, had a great time as well.
Yeah, Wilborn did a great job this year, including the girls in the disc golf training. And so there's been a huge increase in numbers as far as the girls' disc golf goes there.
Gotcha. So we're kind of stepping in here with 2 holes to go with lead card and men's open. This is myself, Benzu, who was the hot round during round 1. We saw Justin Rozak just throw. Here's Wilborn actually hitting the same tree he hit during round 1, which is so surprising. And then this is Benzu, who had the hot round during round 1. And once the rain finished, there's lots of slipping and sliding.
Yep, the rain had stopped here, but as you can see, when people make mistakes here in Zambia, everyone loves to laugh at them, which is kind of an interesting dynamic in a tournament, nonetheless.
Yes, for sure. So Benzu and Wilborn threw up shots. I think we missed Justin's upshot here, but he throws an upshot, and everybody's kind of tapping out. I tapped out there for a 2, and everybody else was getting a 3. So we move into the last hole for round 2, the final of it. I have a little bit of a lead, and some of these guys are following, but we're playing to the long pad this time.
Yeah, so you guys will get to see the new hole. This is the only hole we really completely changed the pin position. So.
Yeah, it was really neat. This was the first basket that we put in Zambia for the standard baskets, and almost 24 hours later, Wilborn already had an ace.
Almost exactly 24 hours, which is very strange, but also amazing.
Yeah, he threw a nice little skip shot, kind of right at the camera, and it faded right towards the basket and skipped and just landed. Justin there threw a nice over-the-top shot for a hyzer and put it pretty close. And then Benzu is going with a nice tomahawk that our cameraman was a little confused in where it landed.
There it is, halfway in the mud. And probably just an hour ago, this fairway was a rushing river. No lie. Like knee-deep rushing river.
Yeah. It was a very interesting round, that's for sure. Looked like that was my putt coming from the woods there. Came a little short, but ended with a birdie. and Justin is here tapping out with his birdie as well. So we didn't get to show you all of round 2, but want to give you a little bit of coverage there, and that's kind of us just finishing up.
Yeah, so the results of the day. Zachary Smith took first place, and in second place in the MPO division was tied Justin Rozak and Wilborn at second place.
And then for the FPO, we had Hannah Leatherman coming away with the victory. And for the juniors, as you probably imagined, Mutolo was the winner there. What a great day. Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned. We have a little bit of bonus coverage of the award ceremony if you want to watch that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we want to give one more big shout out to Innova Discs for making all of this possible. And we hope to see you guys all at Zambia Open 2021.
Hey everybody, my name is Dustin Leatherman. I'm the director of Eagles Wings Disc Golf. And I just want to take a second to say thank you to everybody that supported Zambia Disc Golf and the Zambia Open. We are a sports ministry organization that does a lot of things in the United States and throughout the world. And if you're interested in getting involved or learning more, we would love to talk to you. And I just want to say thank you again for your support, and thank you for watching this video.
So, join the Wilborn and Zachary from Mutolo.
He was a putt machine today, too. Wow. Which one? The recreational? Yeah. Right here, yeah. The blue, right? That's the thing.
Yeah. 119, Hana Watamura, $8 and a troll. Over 96, $100, Zaki.